the remaining questions through which you will come to know about different grammatical structures, from which questions are asked mostly means frequently asked questions are selected from those structures which I'm going to talk about today in the class. Okay. I mean, there are several questions I'm going to talk about today, from which questions are asked mostly in the test. And I'm beginning with question number 11. Question number 11. Um, it says it is dot dot dot. Who is to be blamed? So here are four options: I, he, him, and they. So there are four options for you to select from. Okay. I want you to answer this question, and then, okay, Prasant has said him. All right. And next student, Srishti has said he. All right. Suman has said she. Option C, him. All right. Nabraj has said him, and Mahesh has said B. Okay. Option B. Option B. Let me write it down here. Let me highlight it. Okay. So this option B is the correct answer. It is he who is to be blamed. So he is correct here because, all right, now here's something wrong. Okay, just wait. 35. Okay, so here it is, sorry. Oh, so it is he who is to be blamed. So you write he here because the rule is that if you have to use a subject just before who, it should be I mean, it should be in agreement with the verb that comes after who is the rule. I mean, the rule is that you put a verb after who, I mean, that should be in agreement with the subject before who. The subject that comes before who should be in agreement with the verb right after it is the rule. Okay. And you need he here because the rule of constructing a sentence in English, the basic structure according to which you construct a sentence in English is subject plus verb plus object, right? And uh, is here is a verb. It's a verb. Verb has already come. Means just before it, you should put a subject. And him, if you talk about it, I am him, it comes in the position of object. Object, object. Okay? But he comes, I mean, he can be used as subject. That's why he is correct. You don't use I here because here is not am. You could say it is I who am to be blamed, right? But it is he who is to be blamed. So he can be used with is. Okay. So the what is the rule then here? The rule is that the subject that comes before who should be in agreement with the verb that comes after it. It means who. That's the rule. That's why he is correct. So what you need here is a subject, not an object. That's what I have. Question number 12. Zoom user has, okay, him is incorrect answer because that is objective pronoun. Okay. And Sunny Kumar also has, um, Sunny Kumar also has given the correct answer. Um, he is correct answer. All right. Now here is question number 12 that says, I mean, question number 11 was from the subject verb agreement. Okay, subject verb agreement. So what about question number 12? Here is my report. It at last. So I have finished. Third option, option C. So I finished and I am finished. Option A, B, C, and D. So option B. All right. Sunny Kumar has answered this question. It's option B. Let me highlight it here. I don't know why it is not writing. Just wait. It's problem. Okay. Okay, let me highlight it. So option B is correct answer. Sunny Sorrel has answer C. Incorrect. DPC is incorrect. Okay. And Sunny Kumar has answered as B. Just wait. A phone call has come here. I don't know whose phone call it is. Let me just. All right. Okay. Okay. So option B is correct. Here is my report. Here is my report. Here is my report. So you are presenting a report here. Just because you have just finished the report, and you're and that's for what you are saying. I've finished it at last. So you've used here had or have plus v3. That is the structure of present perfect perfect tense. Okay, present perfect tense. The structure of which is has or have plus v3. And you've used have plus v3 here. Let me change the color here. Okay, you have used have plus v3 here, have plus v3 to talk about the recent past. To talk about what? R-E-C-E-N-T, recent past. So you use present perfect tense to talk about the recent past, right? So, and that's exactly what you're doing here, because you are just, you are now presenting a report because you've just finished it. So you've just finished it means uh, uh, the action is complete, and the gap of time between the time you're presenting and the time you finished is not that big. You've just done it recently. That's called recent past. So to talk about recent past, you use present perfect tense. So option B is correct. Here is my report. You're presenting a report because you've just finished it. That's recent past. Okay. All right. Question number 13 says, here are some more questions. Let me check them here. Mahesh has answered it as B. Is it B? Oh, yeah, it is B. Now, question number 13 says, your parents are very upset with you and you are regretting over the wrongdoing. Um, this question number 12 was asked from tense. And question number 11 was asked from subject verb agreement. Okay. So you often call it conquered as well. What about question number 13? That says your parents are very upset with you. Your parents are not that happy with you because you are, and because of that, you're regretting over the wrongdoing. Means you did something wrong in the past because of which your parents are not that happy at present. Now, what do? You express regret. regret. We talked about the structures of wish last time. And this is a question asked from regret. You have to know which topic has been selected to ask you a question first. And after that, only after that can you become able to solve the question right. Now, as soon as you read this question, you must decide the fact that this question is asked from regret, the structure of regret. Now, what actually is the regret? The structure of regret. Do you know what is the structure of? Can you tell me what the structure of regret is? Huh? Regret. What is the structure of regret? Sunny says B. Okay, that's wrong, Sunny. Pratima Shrestha says 13C. I wish I hadn't disobeyed them. Let me just talk about the structure of regret and you will automatically you'll be able to solve the question automatically. The structure that you use for expressing the regret, one of the structures, let's say there are so many other structures too, but I'm going to talk about only that structure from which you're asked a question in the test from this topic, that is regret. That says, yeah, the structure is, okay, I wish, or if only plus PST, past, PRFECT, past perfect. What is the structure past perfect? Had or hadn't plus be to. So this is the structure past perfect. Now, if this is so, then what? Then what Pratima Purnima Shrestha has said is correct. I mean, she has chosen the option C. That says option C. I wish I hadn't disobeyed them. So here is the structure of, here is the structure with, I'm just choosing the color here. Here is the structure past perfect here. See, I wish and hadn't, had in negative form and V3. Uh, had in negative form and V3 is used here. So you can use either I wish or if only with the structure past perfect tense to talk about what, or to express what, to express your regret. Now, if that is so, option C is the only option that has made the use of. Okay, Ayush also has given the correct answer because he had also chosen C. Okay, so I would say 20 plus past perfect is used for expressing a feeling of regret over something that you think you did something wrong in the past. Okay, so whenever you come across the word regret in a question, just know that you should go for that option that has made the use of either had plus V3 or hadn't plus V3 right after if only or I wish. Okay, Sunny, what do you mean by disobeyed? Okay, disobeyed means not um, following the instructions of the parents here in this context. I mean, in the context of this sentence, disobey means if someone gives you a command to do something, or if someone tells you to do something, and if you don't do that, that's called disobeying. All right. For example, I'm a teacher, okay, and you are a student, and if I just tell you to keep quiet in the class, as long as the class runs, all right, and if you don't keep quiet, then you are disobeying me. Okay, that's the. Okay, Mahesh has C. Sorrel C. Okay, Dipesh also not. Yeah, Dipesh has chosen um C first and then A. All right. Anyway, you've come to know what the correct answer is. Okay. Question number 14 says, where is Robert a shower? This is a question asked from again the tense. Tense. So where is Robert now? So this is a question asked from a particular structure that we use for talking about activity that is going on at the moment of speaking, right? Which is the form of a tense, which is the form of the tense that we use for talking about an ongoing action at the moment of speaking. Do you know that? Srishti has said something. Is he having? All right. Where is Robert? Is he having a shower? Does he have a shower? Has he a shower? Is he having a shower? Has he got a shower? All right. So, Srishti, Srishti has given the correct answer. That is option C. Is he having a shower? Now, the second sentence here is or has made the use of, it has made the use of what? present, present continuous tense. Okay, present continuous tense. The structure of which is am, are plus V4. And V4 is ing form of verb. Okay, you use this structure of present continuous tense, okay, to talk about an action that is going on at the moment of speaking. All right. For example, I'm speaking, I'm doing something right now, and I can talk about it right now. If I talk about what I'm doing right now, I can make the use of this structure. For example, what am I doing now? At the moment of speaking, I'm speaking about what I'm doing right now, right? If you have to talk about something that is going on at the moment of speaking, you make use of present continuous tense. For example, I am giving you an English class on multiple choice questions, right? So I am giving. So here is am and here is ing. Okay, that's the thing. Now, where is Robert now? Now, is he having a shower? Now, is plus before has been used here. That's the structure of present continuous tense, which is used here to talk about what actually is going on at the moment of speaking. Okay. Cheryl also has given the correct answer. Mahesh, C. Okay. Ayush, C. Most of you. Okay. Pune, okay. Present. And Wagli, Mohan Wagli also has given the correct answer. This is a question asked from tense, the use of present continuous tense. Okay. Now, question number 15 said, I didn't used to smoke in the past, but these days I'm used to what? What? Which option? A, smoke, B, smoking, C, smokes, and D, smoked. Which one? Purnima says B. Is it for question number 15? If it's for 15, write 15B. If it's 15B, that's the correct answer. Okay. Yes, Purnima Shrestha has given correct answer to this question. Okay. I didn't used to smoke in the past, but these days I'm used to smoking. 15B is correct answer. So Milan also has given correct answer. Okay. Ayush has given correct answer. Srishti also has given correct answer. Mahesh, B. Very good. Most of you have given correct answer to this question. Cheryl also. Cheryl, it's not smoke, it's smoking. Zoom user, option A. Option A is incorrect answer. La. Let me talk about actually what actually, I mean, why you should, let me talk about why you should go for option B here. Most of the students get confused here because here it is of use to. Okay. All right. Listen. If you say I used I used to, then it is followed by V1. Okay. V1. That is, I used to smoke. I used to SMOKE. So you can use 2 plus V1 right after used when you talk about past habitual action. PAST, past, HABITUAL, habitual action. Okay? Used to plus V1 is used for talking about past habitual action, which you would do in the past as a part of your habit, which you couldn't avoid yourself from, I mean, which you couldn't avoid doing. That was a part of a habit. That was a part of your habit, which you did stop yourself from doing. That's what it talked about by using use 2 plus V1. V1 is what you put there right after use to when 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 there is absence of be verb, when there is not the be verb, right? I mean, just before used to, then. When there is the absence of be verb, right after I or just before used to, then you go for V1. But if there is the presence of be verb, be be verb, be plus used to, then you go for the use of ing here. Okay, ing here. So that ing happens to be, it is called gerund. What do you call it? Grund, gerund. Now here used to is followed by or can be followed by gerund here. That's called active gerund. Okay. For example, here be verb is called ismr, ismr. Okay. Plus used to plus ing. Okay. So be used plus ing is used for talking about present familiar experience. What? Present. Present. Familiar. Familiar experience. ENC. So you talk about present familiar experience. I mean, a particular experience becomes familiar when you have that experience time and again. For example, you don't have, uh, I think, uh, your experience of taking class with me hasn't become familiar yet because I have given just 2 classes, right? Now, if you take class with me time and again, your experience of taking a class with me becomes very much familiar. Now, to talk about such a familiar experience at present, you use be used to plus gerund. When you use ing form of verb, either in the place of subject plus verb plus object, either in the place of subject or verb, subject or object. If you use ing here or ing here in the place of object, that is called gerund. What do you call it? Grund. Because ing form of verb starts functioning as a noun. What? N-O-U, noun. If you place it in the place of either object or subject, that is when ing form of verb stops functioning as a verb. Rather, it starts functioning as a noun, but it is not called noun. It is called gerund. Okay. So here ing is used in the place of object. Therefore, it is called gerund. What do you call it? Gerund. Gerund. So if there is the presence of be verb, just before used to, just go for gerund. That's the only option you have got for talking about present familiar experience. You use used to plus V1 for talking about past habitual action. PAST, past. Okay, all right, wait. Past, okay. Past, HABITUAL, past habitual action, which you would do regularly as a part of your habit in the past, but you do that no more at present. So you use used to plus V1 for talking about past habitual action, but you use be used to plus gerund, be, that's be verb, used to plus gerund, that's any form of verb functioning as noun. When you talk about present familiar experience, that's the thing, yeah, we know. Okay, so here are so many other, I think 6 more. Percent, 15B, yes, percent, that's good. Smoking, okay. All right. Now, question number 16 says, a party next Friday, we have sent out the invitations. So which one do you opt for here? A, we had a party next Friday. Do you go for it? No, most probably, because it is talking about next Friday. That's future, and had is past, right? So who's writing the message here? Milan has right here. D, we are having. Okay, what about other options? Let me read them here as well. B, we have a party next Friday. We will have a party next Friday, or um, we are having a party next Friday. Um, because we have already sent out the invitations. P. Prasant has said D. Srishti has said 16C. 16C is incorrect. Option D. All right. Here, Aisha has said option D. So Deepesh has said option C. Moise has said option C. Sorrel B. And Sony C. Okay, let me just highlight the correct answer here first. You'll come to know that. A party next Friday. We have, oh my, sorry. Okay, okay. So here, option D is correct answer. We are having a party next Friday. We have sent out the invitations. That's the correct answer. Why? Let me talk about this. Okay, you use present. All right, wait. You use present, present continuous tense. That's EJMR plus before, is MR plus before, EJMR plus before. That's the structure of present continuous tense. For talking about future plan. FUTURA, future, PLAN, future plan. So you have already sent out the invitations, right? So it is, the program is already scheduled, means that's a plan. It's a plan to um it's a plan to um have a party next Friday. It is already scheduled. It is a part of your plan. So if you talk about the future plan, you can make this of present continuous tense. Means present continuous tense can also be used to talk about future plan, right? So that's isn't plus before. For example, if I have a plan to fly to the USA, the United States of America, next year's future, right? I can say, I am flying to USA next year. I can say, am flying, right? But that says that I've already bought, I have already scheduled my visit. I've already got the visa or something like that. So I've already got the plan, right? So if you have to talk about the future plan, you can use present continuous tense is what happened. Okay. Question number 17 is here. I want you to solve this question, taking some time, maybe 2 minutes. Till then, I would like to have some water by just turning off my video. I would like to have some water. Till then, write here the answer with reason. Okay, answer with reason. Till then, I'll get back in 2 minutes. All right. Okay, now I have got back to say which option you have chosen. It's when Mohan Wagle, when Cheryl, THE, and then, okay, Srishti 17B, 17B. All right, Srishti, mark this. 17B. Ayush says, because no sooner is used to express cor correlative pair. Okay, okay. I use 17B. 17B. All right. Correlative. Similar to as soon as. Okay, good. Good. Prasant has said 16. 16. Okay. So let me just mark the correct answer here. It is, it is option B. Then let me use another one. Okay. So it is option B. Okay. So option B is the correct answer. Um, I have something to tell you here at this point. If you notice a question beginning with no sooner, N-O-S-O-O-N-E-R, no sooner, please go for this option than, okay? If you notice the question beginning with no sooner, go for the option T-H-A-N, than. If you notice the question that has got had only just, okay, then go for W-H-E-N, when. Okay, so had only just, when. No sooner, T-H-A-N, than, not T-H-E-N. Okay, not T-H-E-N, it is T-H-A-N, than. Okay, let me read it once again here. No sooner had the audience come out of the cinema, the bomb exploded. Here you write T-H-A-N, than. You use here than with no sooner to make a comparison of the time of happening of the two events in the past. Suppose that two events happen in the past, event number one and event number two. Which was the first event that happened in the past? First, which was the first, which was the first event? Here, the audience coming out. C-O-M-I-N, coming out. It happened and it ended. That's why you've used past perfect. PST, past perfect here. That is, see here, had plus V3. So if you have to talk about two events that happened in the past, one after another, means the first ending before the second began, then you use past perfect. That's had plus V3. Had plus V3. Past perfect tense. For talking about the first event, but that must come to an end before the second began in the past. But to talk about the second event, here the bomb exploded. But there must be a gap of time. The second event is exploding the bomb. E-X-P-L-O-D-I-N-G, exploding the bomb. To talk about the second event, you've used V2. That is past simple. So you've used past simple, that's V2 for talking about the second event. But for talking about the first event, you've made the use of past perfect. Now, if you have to talk about them both, by making a comparison of the time in terms of happening these two events, then you use this structure. No sooner with TFAN than. Okay, okay. But you can make use of this and this next structure as well. Had only just with when. To talk about the uh, uh, same two events that happened in the past, thereby making a comparison of the time in which they happened, the first and the second event. Like you can say the audience had only just come out of the cinema when the bomb exploded. Okay. So for your convenience, I can just say that if you notice no sooner, please go for THAN. But if you notice had only just, go for when. That'll be okay. Here is question number 18 that says, I haven't got a ticket if one, I could get in. Now, question number 18. So write 18A, 18B, 18C, 18D. Which option do you like to go along with? I haven't got a ticket if one, I could get in. This is a structure asked from, okay, Srishti has answered this question, 18B. 18B, why? Why, Srishti? Just tell me. I think we discussed some of the structures for conditional sentences last time as well. 18, option B. Okay, okay. So I haven't got a ticket. What? I haven't got a ticket yet. I haven't just included the word yet here, though. I haven't got a ticket yet. If I had one, do you mean that? If I had one, I could get in. So what is the reason? Prasant has written the 18B. No? What's the reason? That's what I want you to tell me. Reason, Cheryl, A, Sunny, C, and Milan, B. Okay, okay. I would have, if I would have one, if I had one, if I have one, if I have had one. So if I had one is the correct option. Means option B is the correct option. Okay, let me use this one. Okay, option B is the correct option here. This is a question asked from um, uh, conditional sentence. Condition sentence. Okay, and here is could. See, if there is would or could in, um, if there is would or could in the main clause, then if clause must have past simple. The structure is if plus past simple, comma, would. Okay, and would can be replaced with could. So could has come here. See, could get in. So here must be past simple, and past simple is had, had. So had is the V2 form of HAVE, have. So have is V1, okay? Had is V2 if used alone, and had is V3 if used with auxiliary verb. A had can also be auxiliary verb if it is followed by V3 or past participle. So you go for had here because the structure is if plus past simple with could. Okay, so that's the thing. Question number 19. It's time you wash your face, would wash your face, and will wash your face. Which one do you think is correct here? Right, option A, B, C, or D. So here is one more. I don't know who just has given the answer. Okay, Prasant has. Okay, 19B. 19B. Very good. Prasant. Ayush has said time. Okay, 9 option B. Good. So it's option. Let me just highlight it. It's quite important to highlight for you. It's time you wash your face. Option B is correct. So whenever you have to say it's quite urgent to do something, right? You use it's time plus past simple. Let me write it down here. Sorry. Okay. You write if plus, sorry. Oh my God. You use its time plus past simple. That is V2. So you use its time plus V2 um, for talking about, for saying that it's quite urgent to do something right now. Okay? If you have to say it's quite urgent to do something right now, use this structure. It's time plus past simple. So it's time you now washed. It's time you washed your face. Uh, okay, someone has given a call here. I don't know. Uh, anyway, I think it's Andres's call. Anyway, so I've told you that use this structure, that is it's time plus past simple, for talking about the fact that it's quite urgent to do something right now. Question number 20 says, are friends. I, you, and he, you, and I, and you, I, and you, he, and I. Now, subject plus verb plus object. If we have to use the three personal pronouns which are singular, singular, singular pronouns, where in the place of subject, what actually is the order? That's what I want you to tell me. Saral says B. Okay, Mahesh B. He, you, and I. Srishti 19. It's 20. Question number 20, right? And then write the answer. 20B. Okay. Milan B. Very good. Okay. So if we have to use these three personal pronouns, which are singular in terms of person, okay, then you use 2, 3, 1. Remember this. 2 means, sorry. Wait. Um, wait. It's 2, 3, 1. It's not option B. It's option C. Let me just highlight it first. Okay. Option C. Oh, wait. It's not option C. Let me just erase it. It's option 2, 3, 1. Let me just talk about this and just highlight this. 2 here. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 here is second person. Person. 3 here is third person. And 1 here is first person. 231. So you use second person in the beginning, like you is a second person, right? You. And then after that, here, she or he is third person, right? Here in this context, he. He's third person pronoun. So you put second person first, and after that, first person, and after that, first person, that is I. You, he, and I. Wait. Let me just erase it because, yeah, let me write it clearly. That is I. Okay? So second person in the beginning, and after that, third person, and after that, first person. 231. Remember this, these numbers. 231. Second person, 2 means second person, 3 means third person, and after that, 1 means first person. So this is how you put these pronouns in order. If you have to use them all in the position of subject, in the position of subject. So you say, which one now? Option, let me highlight it. This one, D. You, he, and I are friends. You, he, and I are friends. Second person, okay. Second person, third person, and first person. 231. Okay. Now, question number 21 says, she disliked coming late. Me, my, I. Which one do you think is correct option? Right, 21A, 21B. It's like that. I use Katiwara 20, option D. Option D? Yes, option D. Very good. Okay. Can anyone tell me which option is correct here and why? My option. Wait, which option? Cheryl, 21A. She disliked me coming late. Next, Milan Baral has said 21A. She disliked me coming late. Ayush, 21A. She disliked me coming late. Next, Sunny A. Okay, who's next to give answer? Prasant, 21A. All right, all right. Next student, Srishti Suna. Okay, 21A. Listen, most of the students give wrong answer to this question. Okay, because they feel that option A, that is me here, sounds good. It sounds good to you, right? That's why you go for it. But the structure doesn't say that. Okay, you have to know which actually is the topic from which this question is asked. Okay, listen to me. 21A%. 21A. Okay, 21B. Mine. Okay, wait. She disliked. SHE. She DISLIKED. Disliked coming late. Okay, what is C here? Subject. What is disliked here? Verb. Okay, and what is coming in late? Coming is ing form of verb which has come in the place of object. And just a while before, I told you that if you place ing form of verb in the place of object, it doesn't function as a verb, it functions as a noun. But it is not called noun, it is called, I told you earlier, G-E-R-U-N-D, gerund. So what is coming functioning as here? It is coming is functioning as noun because in the place of object, you always place noun. Or replacing it, you put another word, but another word also starts functioning as noun. Either it be a pronoun or any other word, like ing form of verb, it starts functioning as noun. So it is functioning as noun here. Coming is functioning as noun because it has been placed in the place of object. Now, if it is functioning as noun, what is it that you can use for describing this word functioning as noun? It is ADJ adjective. ADJECTIVE adjective. Okay. This word coming is functioning as a noun. Now, to describe this word that is functioning as noun, what you need is an adjective. And here, my is adjective. So what do you need here? You need an adjective to describe a word that is functioning as noun because you use a word to describe a noun that is called adjective. And my is adjective here. So my is correct answer here. That is option. Oh, sorry. That is my is. Option B is correct answer. Why do you just choose my here? Because you need an adjective to describe a word functioning as noun. You need an adjective, not, not, not me here, because me is objective pronoun which can replace noun. Replace noun. Its function is to replace noun, right? But not to describe a noun. So what we need here is a word that can describe a word functioning as noun. Coming is functioning as noun. So what we need is an adjective, and my is possessive. Possessive. Possessive adjective. It is a possessive adjective. You use this adjective to talk about the fact that something belongs to you. If you say, this is my book, okay? Book is a noun. To describe which you are using my, that's what this is, adjective. The same is the case here. My coming late. coming is functioning as noun. Okay, that's the thing you have to know. Okay, option C. I use sorrow. Option C. Okay, so I think I've come to know the answer. Now, question number 22. I prefer riding to walking, riding besides walking, riding than walking, riding then walking. Now, which option? Write 22, A, B, C, or D. Prasad has said A. Very good. A is the correct answer here. I like to discuss it a little bit faster because we're running out of time. Okay. Now, why? I'm just talking about this here right now. You say, I prefer. You use prefer to talk about choice. But when you talk about choice, okay, you make a comparison. 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 So you talk about choice thereby making a comparison by using the word prefer. And the words or the word that comes after it could be like I prefer plus noun plus to plus noun. This is the structure. Okay. When you use prefer to talk about choice, thereby making a comparison, you use to, not than. Be careful. It's not than that you use here. It's not th and then. You use t or to. This one. Okay. And both of these words, see, you say, let me just make it clear that I prefer tea to coffee. When you say I prefer tea to coffee, tea here is noun and coffee also is noun. And between these two, you have used to. So when you use prefer to talk about choice, thereby making a comparison between two things, then you use T or to, not THAN. So that's what you have come to know. But that is not the whole story about the use of prefer with noun plus to plus noun. Here is something more. I told you earlier that if you use ing form of verb here, just after verb, that is called gerund. What do you call it? Gerund. And gerund is V4 functioning as noun. Now here, riding and walking are functioning as nouns. That's what I have. Okay, so that's why this one is correct. Now, question number 23 says, we are accustomed doing hard work. So accustomed, does it take in as a preposition to or of or with? That's what I want you to tell me. Question number 23, option D is incorrect. Accustomed means being habituated. Being habituated. Accustomed of, no. Habituated. The meaning of accustomed is habituated. Person says B. Okay, good. B is the correct answer here. Okay, 2. Accustomed takes to, not any other preposition. Let's say look takes at, look at. Entrust, E-N-T-R-U-S-T, entrust also takes, entrust takes W-I-T-S, with. Okay. Provide also takes with. Just like that. Habituated, accustomed takes to. That's what I have. Okay. So we're accustomed to doing hard work. So this is a question asked from the use of preposition. Or, all right. I'm sorry. Okay. It's P-R-E-P, preposition. All right. So let me, the candle. Which one? Question number 24. Right, 24, 24A, 24B, 24C, 24D. Please do it fast. 24B, switch. Blow out. Let me blow out the candle. Switch off. Do you switch off? Or blow out or turn off or extinguish? You extinguish. Use the word. This is a question. ask from the vocabulary. Be careful. VOCABULARY. Vocab, insert vocabulary and full form. Okay, option D, extinguish. No, you extinguish a big fire. Okay, extinguish is used to talk about the way you put an end to a big fire. Here it's blow out. Option B. Option A, you blow out candle. Question number 25 here, maybe the last question I'm discussing today. Everyone in the group shook hands with each other, one another, sorry, one the other, one another, themselves. Which option? Question number 25, M.W. Mohan, option A. No. Jumujer, blow out. Good. Srishti, 25C. One another. Very good. Srishti has given correct answer here. Okay, let me change the color here. It's it's option C. So everyone in the group shook hands with one another. Let me write something here. If there are two people, then you use each other. EACHOTHER. If there are just two people, just two, not more than two. But if you're talking about two or two among three or more, among more, let's say, okay, if you're talking about two among three or more, then you use one another. In the group, there could be so many people, but only two shake hands with each other, right? That's the thing. One another is used for talking about two, but among so many. But each other is used for talking about only two. That's the thing you have to know. Okay? Thank you, class. See you in the next class, maybe in the near future. Thank you for today. Maybe I'll come with more questions in the next class.